Everything to know about Real Housewives star Jen Shah's front case. Shah and one of her assistants, Stuart Smith, were originally arrested in 2021 for their role in a long-running telemarketing scheme. Jen Shah's front case has taken a new turn. Shah first rose to fame for her role on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City in 2020 but has recently made headlines for her role in a long-running telemarketing scheme. During production for Season 2 of the reality show in 2021, Shah and one of her assistants, Stuart Smith, were arrested in Utah. They were later charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Since their initial arrest, the fraud case has continued to evolve. Most recently, Shah changed her plea to guilty while appearing in a New York court on July 11. From the details on her arrest to her current sentencing date, here's everything to know about Shah's front case. When was Jen Shah arrested? Shah was arrested in March 2021 alongside her assistant, Stuart Smith, for allegedly targeting individuals in a nationwide scheme. Jennifer Shah, who portrays herself as a wealthy and successful businessperson on reality television, and Stuart Smith, who is portrayed as Shah's first assistant, allegedly generated and sold lead lists of innocent individuals for other members of their scheme to repeatedly scam, Manhattan U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss previously said in a press release. In actual reality and as alleged, the so-called business opportunities pushed on the victims by Shah, Smith, and their co-conspirators were just fraudulent schemes, motivated by greed, to steal victims' money. Now, these defendants face time in prison for their alleged crimes. What was Jen Shah charged for? Shah and Smith were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing and conspiracy to commit money laundering. What was Jen Shah's plea? Shah and Smith initially pleaded not guilty in April 2021. However, her assistant later changed his plea to guilty that November. Shah maintained her innocence until her recent court hearing in July 2022. Her legal team even attempted to get the charges dismissed in August 2021, but a judge denied the request. On July 11, Shah switched her original plea of not guilty to guilty. Miss Shah is a good woman who crossed a line, Priya Chaudhry, an attorney for the reality star, told People. She accepts full responsibility for her actions and deeply apologizes to all who have been harmed. Miss Shah is also sorry for disappointing her husband, children, family, friends, and supporters. Jen pled guilty because she wants to pay her debt to society and put this ordeal behind her and her family. Has her fraud case been covered on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Shah's fraud case has been a major storyline in Rosal's second season, and appears to be another big plot point in the upcoming season. Shortly after Shah changed her plea to guilty on July 11, People confirmed that the reality star will continue to take part in the upcoming third season of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She's had Meredith, Marks, and Heather Gay by her side, who have been very supportive of their friend during a difficult time, a source tells People exclusively. Obviously her legal troubles have not been easy for Jen, let alone making this decision to plead guilty. This case is a very big part of Jen's story, the source continues. Producers don't want us to stop following it now, they'll keep filming with her as long as they can, just like they did with Teresa Giudice. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star and her then-husband Joe were convicted of mail, wire and bankruptcy fraud in October 2014 and each served a prison sentence. The case was also covered in the Hulu documentary, titled The Housewife and the Shah Shocker. When is Jen Shah's sentencing set for? Shah is set to be sentenced on November 28, 2022. She faces a maximum penalty of up to 30 years in prison. While in court on July 11, Shah agreed not to appeal if she is sentenced to 168 months in prison or fewer, an amount that equates to 14 years. She also agreed to forfeit $6 million, and pay restitution of $9 million.